Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and thank you for joining our virtual forum. My name is Ying from BMA April 2020 and I will be the moderator for today. The panelists include Ms. Cheng from BMA April 2020 and Mr. Alvin Yong from BMA July 2020. The topic of this forum is the shift of online learning structure affects the mental health of students. As we all know, at the beginning of the year 2020, the COVID-19 virus hits Malaysia where it causes everyone to be in a pandemic control. This causes the education industry to be on hold and all students are required to attend online classes. This is to reduce the spread of COVID cases and ensures that all students are safe from the virus. However, the sudden shift of learning structures comes in pros and cons. The pros of the learning online are that students can learn in the comfort of their homes and being safe at the same time. As for the cons, workloads are increased where some students can't cope with it and it affects their mental health. Which for today, we will be discussing this topic with our panelists. Before we start, I would like to inform all audience that you guys are welcome to drop any questions at the chat box throughout the discussion. So without any delays, I will start with the first discussion. What does mental health really mean? Mr. Alvin, can you tell us what mental health really is from your own understanding?
Okay, well, based on my own understanding, I believe that mental health is a person's state of mind, which depending on its condition, it will affect a person's emotion, behavior, and their social well-being. I also think that mental health governs how a person makes rational thoughts, such as their stress handling methods, their daily routine, and their afterlife choices. I believe that maintaining a good mental health is important for everybody at every stages of their life because mental health, depending on condition, can drastically affect a person's life whether in a good way or a bad way.
So do you think that mental health is also as important as our physical health?
Personally speaking, I would believe that every human being should have a balance to take care of their mental health and physical health in a balanced way so that none of them overpowers the other. Such as if I concentrate too much on my physical health, it wouldn't matter if my mental health was in shambles.
Okay, well understood. So for Ms. Cheng, how about your opinion?
So according to the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, mental health includes emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It will affect how we think, how we feel, and how we act. Actually, mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. If the students cannot endure their mental health problems, they will be diagnosed with mental health illnesses such as mood disorders, personality disorders, and eating disorders, and etc.
Okay, so Ms. Cheng, is it that if we have positive mental health, it can make us be more optimistic and we can do our tasks more better compared to poor mental health? Is it something like that?
Of course, everyone should have good mental health to do your daily activities and do your stuff.
Okay, so now let's move on to the second question. As we all here are students ourselves, I would like to ask fellow panelists on how's the experience from your perspective in having online classes. Is it either good or bad, or there's any specific moment that is memorable to you to this present day? I guess Ms. Cheng can start off first.
Okay, for me, my first semester is already starts with online classes. I feel like I'm suffering when I'm doing group assignment. I remember that time the lecturer prepared an Excel sheet and asked us to form our group for our group assignment. I feel very panicked because I'm new here. I don't know which group I can join, and I'm just staring at the people, filling in their name on the grouping list. And when I do my group assignment, my group mate and I just separate the part of the assignment, and we just do our own without discussion. So I think this is the first time we do the group assignment while having online class. So we didn't meet each other face to face. So we have no idea what to discuss, and we just do it on our own. So sometimes I feel stressed when doing assignment.
Okay, so back then you mentioned about during semester 1, it was a struggle for you to find the teammates, right? So end up, how do you overcome it?
I just text the people I found in the list.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah. So it end up well lah.
Yeah.
Okay. How about, besides this, do you have any good experience in online learning? Because just now you talk about the bad one, so how about the good one?
Yes, I have, because even though I feel a little bit struggle with this online learning, but my friends, my group mates always help me, so I can overcome these barriers.
So you're saying that your friends help you to gain the great experience in online learning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friends, it's important.
Okay, so how about Mr. Alvin? How about your experience in online learning?
Well, my personal experience as a student that's currently studying with online classes definitely had its up and downs when compared to physical classes, such as we get like a more flexible time schedule with online classes, because back when we still had physical classes, because I had my first semester or my first year in physical classes, like we had to plan out our daily routine because we need to travel to our classes, like because that will take some time depending on the distance, because like therefore I have to like plan out, like, so I wake up at 8 a.m. and then I shower and I get ready to go at 9 a.m. But with online classes now, all I have to do is like to turn on my computer and then join the Google Meet, and then voila, there you go, I can attend my online classes now, and so I can worry about all my daily routines later. But however, I do miss the times when meeting up with lecturers and classmates for discussion like are as easy, because like we could just straight up say, hey, after this class, do you want to just have our discussion in a canteen or something? Or I can just go to a lecturer's office and like ask them questions. While with the current online class, I have to message our lecturer and ask her like what time he or she is free, so I can like have a discussion with the lecturer. Or me and my group members, we have to like collectively decide on a day where all of us can be online in order to have our discussion about like a certain group assignment.
Okay,
So
I totally agree about the routine, the daily routine thing, because I think that everyone also is the same. Like just even if we woke up late, we just press one button and can edit. No need like before we need to like rush the hours. Okay. Alright, after talking about your own experience, now let's move on to the third question, which is what kind of challenges are possibly faced by students through online learning? It can either be a minor or a major challenge. I think Miss Yao Cheng can give her opinion first.
Okay, so I think they might feel stressed because they have to face to their gadgets while having online class for a couple of hours, and after that they also have to face on their gadgets to do their assignments. And if like this, they might faced with their gadgets more than 8 hours per day. So they will feel tired with just doing attend online classes and doing assignments.
Okay, is it that you mean facing gadgets means it's like facing our computer to the classes, through online classes? And I think that most of us have like 3 hours per class, right? And
Yes.
yeah, we have like each subject for 3 hours, and in a day we need to attend like 3 or 2 subjects, which is a very tiring thing, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree that it is kind of a challenge also. So what about Mr. Alvin?
Well, the possible challenges that students will face through online classes that I can think of right now are like such as the issue of having a stable internet connection throughout the class. Because if the students had like a bad internet connection, or if it was just bad weather that would affect their internet connection, they were simply not able to fully focus on the class because of the lag and internet connection, which is obvious, which would obviously cause them to be frustrated and annoyed, which is obviously bad for their mental health, because like, they can't really hear what the lecturer is talking about, and they can't really concentrate because of the lag and stuff.
And also lose the motivation.
And which what I'm about to say, which is, other than that, students are also way more easy to be distracted by other things during their online classes, because they are in the comforts of their own homes, which would distract them from paying attention to the class. Because like when you're having the classes, you can just do something else in the background because you're in your own house, because no one would be monitoring you, right? Yeah.
Unless you're forced to turn on your camera like right now.
Yeah. Unless the lecturer tells you to turn on your camera. But most of the time, if your camera's off, usually most students will like play with their phones or something during the online classes, which would be a distraction.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so moving on from the challenges, does online learning really affects the mental health of students? Is online learning really the cause that makes every student struggle with their mental health? And Miss Cheng, you can start first for this discussion.
Yeah, I think students probably will get mental health. So, students, because they already face their gadgets for a long time, so they might feel tired, and it will cause mental health issue for them, because if they feel tired and they don't have motivation to do their things, they will feel stressed or other mental health issues. So it will affect the students in their learning process.
Okay, I think I can help Miss Yao Ching to add on is that yes, online learning does affect some students in their mental health, because online learning does limit our social interaction, which makes some of us like feel isolated from the world. So, and I also read before that we human beings need human interactions, and it is essential for us in our life, because a strong network of support or strong community bonds fosters our emotional and physical health, which is important in everyone's component in their life. So how about Mr. Alvin?
Well, in my humble opinion, I certainly believe that online learning have some sort of effects on the mental health of students, because with the nature of online learning, students usually have to stay cooped up inside their houses for a long period of time, because they need to be in their houses for a stable internet connection. And plus the fact they could not travel outside due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which was definitely result in their mental health being affected either in a positive way or a negative way. Following up with the previous point of like humans needing social interactions, yeah, I believe that like with the like when you have to stay indoors for an extended period of time, not having social interactions could certainly be affecting like the students' mental health.
Okay, and this will lead us to the fifth question, which is what are the noticeable symptoms of poor mental health that are caused by online learning? Mr. Alvin can go on first.
Sorry.
Okay, I repeat the question again.
Yeah.
What are the noticeable symptoms of poor mental health caused by online learning?
Oh, okay. Well, the symptoms of poor mental health caused by online learning, the online learning structure are usually students are way more prone to anger and stress because they are unable to go outside and like relieve their stress due to the COVID-19 restrictions. And other than that, a symptom of poor mental health will also be the students' lack of motivation and concentration for their respective classes, because with online classes, like there isn't much chance for students to interact with the lecturers, like questioning, and quizzes and stuff, and this would result in their lack of motivation for the class because they don't have much interaction with the lecturers during the classes. These are the symptoms I can think of.
Do you think that burnt out also is one of the symptoms?
Oh yeah, burning out is definitely a symptom also, because like when the students just sit on their chair and then go for classes like day in day out, at one point they have to be burnt out, I believe. Yeah.
So how about Miss Yao Ching? What do you think about the symptoms of poor mental health?
So according to the mentalhealth.gov, the early warning signs are eating or sleeping too much or too little, pulling away from people and usual activities, having low energy, and etc. So I think these signs will be caused by this online learning, because the students have to focus on their gadgets for a long time, will cause them to be too tired. So if they have poor mental health during the online learning, they will have these symptoms of sleeping too much or too little. Moreover, students have to study at home during this pandemic and they cannot go outside. They will have less interactions with people. So this will cause them to pull away from people, maybe. Yeah. And also, students always sit in front of their gadgets, will also cause them to have low energy to complete their works or assignments.
When just now you talk about eating too much or sleeping too much, but sleeping too much or sleeping too little, and I think that I have one of the symptoms. Maybe I personally have poor mental health.
So you have a poor mental health.
So I need to go and check on it. Okay. For the last discussion, I think that fellow panelists can give some advice or suggestions for students to cope with their mental health problems. Miss Yao Cheng, you can start first.
Okay, so in my opinion, I think students can talk about their feelings to their parents, because talking about your feelings can help you to stay in a good mental health. So you also can try it, Miss Jane. Yeah, after you talk about your feelings, you will feel clear about what you are worried, and you will feel comfortable after sharing your feelings. Apart from that, students can always keep active in their life. You can do regular exercise to boost your self-esteem, and it helps you to be concentrated and feel better. And when you are doing exercise, you don't think about your work, just focus on doing exercise. It can helps you to release your stress and make you feel better.
Okay, speaking about exercise, and we are all in indoors, what if we unable to exercise when we are in the home. Like there is not much space for us to do it. So how can we what is the alternative solution for this problem?
I think you can do stretching.
Stretching.
About 15 minutes but in here the exercise means you can do whatever, not just the workout. You can do like housework and planting or whatever. It also an exercise.
Means we can do any leisure activities to like make ourselves less tension and less stress, is it?
Yeah, it can release your stress.
Okay, so how about Mr. Alvin?
Well, my advices on handling mental health problems will be based on my own personal experience. So like all of you can like take it with a grain of salt. But like my advices for handling mental health problems are like enforcing like your own daily routine. So if you enforce your own daily routine, you will be able to, you will feel like proper, like you will feel like you have a proper grasp on your own life. So like before classes, let's say like you have 1 hour before classes, you like do stretching as Cheng has said in the previous point. And then like after the online class, you will also like do your own activity, which could be reading, meditating, or also exercises. Other than that, you could also set like a weekly goal for your own fulfillment in order to like get a sense of accomplishment instead of being burnt out on classes, which are like you could have, let's say like finish a book by the end of this week, or you can like I need to have at least ran like 5 kilometers like by this week. By running, I don't mean outside, I mean like running on a treadmill. And lastly, my final advice is you can consult with your own friends and family if you really have to, because your friends and family, especially your family, can tell you a better advice than me, of course, because they are your own family, about like how to handle your own mental health problems. So if you consult your family, they will surely be able to help you more than we can right now.
So, Mr. Alvin, do you use any of your advice to cope with your mental health, like in your personal life?
Personally, I like the weekly goal because like instead of feeling burnt out, right, I have something to look forward to each week. So let's say I want to finish a certain book, I will like I can't wait for this class to end so I can like focus on my weekly goal. Or like you can also have a weekly goal that's like related to your class, like, oh, I want to finish this assignment before this weekend. So like that's one way to like distract yourself from the burnout, and it could be like a goal for you to achieve for each week. So personally, I think that would be a good advice for myself and for anyone.
Alright, that's definitely a good advice. So, and that's all for the topic discussion. Thank you very much to our panelists, Mr. Alvin, Yong, and Ms. Cheng, for all of the detailed information regarding today's topic. I'm pretty sure all of us have learned and absorbed a good amount of knowledge today. For the last session of this forum is we will welcome all audience to provide their questions to our fellow panelists. You guys can just drop down any questions on the chat box and I will read it out to them. Okay, a question from Yao Chong is, so in your opinion, is this kind of online learning structure or method encouraged for students to keep on using it through the pandemic or the future learning? Mr. Alvin, can you start first?
In my opinion, this kind of online learning structure or method has its own advantage and disadvantage. But personally speaking, I believe that like when the pandemic is over, I believe that we should swap back to physical classes because I believe that physical classes is way more beneficial for our studies, of course, even though that there's a certain quality of life benefits that comes with online classes. So I believe that this kind of online learning structure shouldn't be encouraged. But for now, of course we have to bear with this structure due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But I do not agree that this kind of online learning structure should be encouraged.
Alright, so it's a no from Mr. Alvin. So how about Miss Yao Cheng?
I think it can be encouraged because everything has its advantages and disadvantages. And for online learning, not every course or the study have to be online learning or physical learning, because for some courses that I know, like photography course, they only apply in online learning because their model, they want to achieve that everyone can learn in their pace and without any barriers. So not every online learning is bad.
So is it that your opinion is like neutral, it can be encouraged for like some subjects and it can be not encouraged by some subjects? Is like based on how the lecturer is going to teach the subject to students, see is it whether it's suitable to teach it online or physically, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so next question from Choi is, can mental health be cured through medication? I think Ms. Yao Cheng can start off and answer this question.
Actually, mental health problems is different from mental health illness. If there's a person can have a poor mental health but did not diagnosed with the mental illness. So if you have only a mental health problem, you can search some ways to certain ways to
Okay, I think Miss Yao Cheng want to say is that mental health and mental illness is like similar but not totally similar, because mental health is more on the more major thing, and mental illness is more on the like the major, like how to say it's like physical health. You got cough but doesn't mean that you got cancer. Is it something like that?
Yeah.
So your mental health report doesn't mean that you have a like mental disorder. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. So how about Mr. Alvin?
Well, I'm not a professional in the medical field, but in my opinion, mental health problems are like a sort of illness that aren't cured through medications, but like the standard method of curing are probably therapy and stuff like that. So I don't think medication would be a very good primary solution for curing mental health. Yeah. So yeah.
And if we cure it through therapy, which at the end we still need to cure it by ourselves, is it? Because therapy will be like a tool for you to cure your mental health, but you still need to like do it with your own willpower to achieve your mental health goals, is it? Alvin, is it? Say yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question from Beng Chin Lim is, so I know you all gave some advice to cope with stress. Can you tell me about what method has been very effective for you personally? Okay, I think Mr. Alvin can start answer.
As I've said before, the weekly goals are pretty effective. But if there's another method, it will be the daily routine. One of my daily routine is every Thursday, because I have no class during that day, I dedicate that day to mostly entertainment, such as watching movies or also gaming, to distract myself from all my assignments. But I'll usually only dedicate Thursday, so the rest of the days I will usually focus on my studies and assignments. So that routine has been pretty effective for me so far.
So your advice is to have a day off from all the stress and of the work to relax ourselves, is it? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So how about Miss Liao Cheng?
So for me, I will listen to my favorite music when I feel stressed, because music is everything in my life. I love to listen to music. And sometimes I will watch dramas to release my stress. Yeah, and then I will just, after watch the drama, I will just go back to do my assignments like that. So and then for now, I have a habit which I will listen to lo-fi music when I do my assignments.
So the solution that will help you is to find distractions and make yourself stress-free. Okay, so are there any more questions? If there's none, then we can we can end our discussion for today. Thank you everybody for joining our online forum, and I hope that this forum teach you something and you can gain something from us. So we hope to see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.